started dawning like I've really come a long way. So the reality check really set in. Like I've come a long way in life, and just because I'm here right now, in those 11 years I was out, I accomplished a lot. My family gained a lot from that time out there. Yeah, I'm not there for them now, but I don't have to be my past either. I can definitely use this time here to learn new tools that I can take home. I have a 15-year-old son, and when she was talking about Jaden, my son's like 5'9", 262, and he's only going to be 15 in April. And he's always been a big kid, but everybody always thought that he was older, and he never was, and he had an anger issue. So now I have an outlet that I can feed to him, and whenever I get an opportunity, which is not very often because he doesn't like to get on the phone, but I try to use these tools, tell my wife about them, and I think now them being able to go on YouTube and see what I'm doing in here is going to make an impact in his life. So that was what was positive for me.
Victor, well, I have nephews that are younger age, teenage years, and at that age, they can control their emotions good. So I'm gonna talk to them about parts of my brain and belly breathing when they went through temper tantrums, and that way they can control their reactions and actions. So that way they won't fall into bad decisions in life. So that way it'll help them. They can spread the word with their families about GOGI, about our family with GOGI, and the rest of the earth.
The way that I ended up in prison, as I was saying, is it was a bad reaction. It wasn't an intended crime or anything like that. I reacted the wrong way to someone who I didn't understand what they were doing, and it's caused me to think over and over and over the past 3 years about that decision. That one split second where I didn't react the way that I should have. That 1 second where if I would have used the smart part of my brain and evaluated what was going on and realized, because this person made a mistake, he had the wrong dude but that's kind of the thing that I want to instill in my kid. And my wife is in a 18-month program. My son is not there with her yet, but he will be. As she does well, she's earning the right to have him there. So he's with a caregiver now, and I'm here. So I called and talked to my son yesterday, and he had a meltdown at school. And of course, the caregiver's all upset. She's basically asking me to lay into my son as soon as she answers the phone. But without even realizing it until I was back in my cell and thought about it, I was GOGIing my son. Because I asked him what happened, and he had a meltdown in the classroom, and he acknowledged that. And I said, okay, well then let's look at what else you've done. You're doing really good in math. You're learning all your shapes and all your colors. You're being a good boy. You're getting visits with your mommy. This kind of thing. So I gave him a reality check. I said, okay, so now let's think about this meltdown. Right? Let's recognize that we had it. Let's apologize to the teacher tomorrow when we go to school. But if you promise me you're going to do better tomorrow, that's good enough for me. So he said, okay, I promise you, Dad, I'll do better tomorrow. And like I said, it wasn't until a little while later that I thought, wow, man, I just GOGI'd my kid without even realizing it. I just taught him something without even realizing it. Because 10 steps, 2 steps backwards is still 8 steps forward. So I wanted to sit with him and acknowledge the good that he had done, and then let's talk about what happened, and let's remember the good that we're doing. Let's keep on that track. And many times in my life, if I had done that, whether it be, I'd been sober for 7 years and I drank a beer. If I would have stopped right there and said, wait a minute, this is going to go in a bad way, and kept moving forward instead of just embracing it and shaming myself into it and drinking more, man, you blew it now. That's been a perpetual pattern in my thinking my whole life. Well, you've blown it now. You may as well just run with it. Reality check is one of the most powerful tools. That and Boss of My Brain, when I read book 1, and when I got here, I had no idea that there was a GOGI meeting. I had only seen a little card a guy had a Delano in reception. He was using it as a bookmark. That was my experience with GOGI. It had the calendar on it, and I was like, well, yeah, well, you know, I don't think he even knew what it was. But I got here and I found book 1 in the bookshelf. I started reading it and I started talking to me. Man, you should hear what I read. I think it may have been even Griff or somebody said, well, yeah, they have meetings, dummy. You know, I was like, oh, they do. So I found it, and I reached out and searched for GOGI, and it blew my mind. That, wait a minute, man, I'm the boss of my brain. And it works in such a huge spectrum of things for me. When I start tripping out on even things that go on with my wife, wait a minute, man, you don't have to dwell on that. You're manufacturing your own thoughts. And where is that coming from? And so let's stop that. In my mind, I call it changing the channel. But that's, you know, I said, man, I'm not going to think about that. I'm going to change the channel on that. That's going into emotional or old habit where I want to dwell or be suspicious, and I just don't do it. But, you know, these are things that while we were sitting here going through the ceremony, I thought, man, I just got another book 1. That's going in the mailbox straight to my wife at the program. And she's read bits and pieces and heard me speaking to her over the past couple of years. So hopefully her and the other ladies, because it's a women and children program, hopefully that they can start benefiting from it a little bit there. And if her mindset gets on the same page with me on it, then we can raise my son with it. But I mean, the most positive thing was after I realized that I just GOGI'd my kid. He didn't know it. I didn't know it at the moment, but it's embedded. It's coming as just a
second nature.
Because yeah, not thinking about it.